Hey guys, so I'm pretty sure everyone's quite excited for the new Just Cause 3 that just came out, and I mean, from the looks of it and having played it for about 2 days now, I'm like quite impressed with the amount of details these guys have managed to put into this game. Like the textures, the explosions, all of it, like it's crazy good. So I just thought like I'll post like a video just to see how this to show you guys how this game performs with like a GTX 970 and like an average gaming rig that most of us normal people have. Uh, so to give you a brief idea of my current PC specs, it's one of the Xeon E3 1225 V3, which is pretty much similar to one of those the i5 processors, clocked at 3.2 gigahertz. Apart from that, I'm using a 20 gig DDR3 memory, Samsung Evo hard disk, and of course the main component is the GPU. It's GTX 970 SSC from EVGA. I've kind of made some modifications to the clock speeds on the GPU. I've overclocked it to 1487 megahertz, and the memory clock is increased by about 180 megahertz. Apart from that, everything is stock. Like my processor is not overclocked or anything. It's in a stock speed. I'm running a 1440p monitor with this, so I will be giving you numbers based on like a 1440p setup. Uh, I know that the GTX 970 is not really meant for 1440p, but still, like I thought I'd try to push it with the overclocks and see what the worst case scenario can be with when it comes to this game. So right off the top, when I started the game, with like some of the on-screen displays that show the GPU temperatures and usage and memory usage. The funny thing I noticed was how large of a game buffer, memory buffer this game requires. It's pretty much similar to Shadow of Mordor, which uses like 3+ gigs of memory pretty much all the time, and that's the same thing I observed with this game. Like it requires a lot of memory. Even at 1080p, I was hitting 3 gigs of RAM, which is quite a lot as compared to most of the other games currently on the market, which barely skim 2 gigs, like maybe 2.5 at 1080p. But this thing is like a memory hog. I mean, given that the amount of detail and textures used in this game, I'm not too surprised that it uses this kind of memory. But still, like you're gonna need a lot of memory buffer for this game to run with all the eye candy enabled. So like if you have like one of the 2 gig GPUs, I would seriously consider upgrading if you're really interested in playing this game and all its glory, to something that has at least 4 gigs of RAM, like maybe a R9 380 at least. I wouldn't recommend the R9, the GTX 960, because of its narrow memory bus, but definitely the R9 380 or a GTX 970, or like the ideal situation would be an R9 390, which has like the massive 8 gig buffer. So when paired with those graphics cards, I think this game should be playable at least high settings. Maybe a very high on the R9 390, but I hear that the R9 390s are having some issues with the drivers when it comes to this game, and people are reporting a lot of crashes. But it might be different in your case. Like I don't know, like maybe a new driver might come out. But as far as the NVIDIA graphics cards goes, especially the 970, I'm getting about 30 to 40 FPS at 1440p. Although the frame counter is not visible, that's again like some kind of a driver bug that like none of my on-screen displays are working for some reason in this game. They do work in other games, so it's probably related to the driver somehow. But with this current setup, I'm getting about 30s at 1440p with everything set high, and with 2 times anti-aliasing enabled. And at 1080p, I'm getting numbers like 50 to 60, maybe about 70 sometimes. But on an average, it's about 50s, upper 50s. So if you're planning to do 1080p gaming, this should be fine. But if you're looking at 1440p gaming, I would definitely recommend getting an R9's V90 to get like the maximum quality of the game, like with the highest settings. So I hope this was helpful. Please hit the like button if you like the video, and I'll be coming up with more videos soon. Enjoy the game.